Good morning, everyone. This is Andrew Rodman with Western Marketing. First and foremost, just want to say thank you to everybody that's taken time out of their day to join this webinar on Manhattan Life's short-term care product called OmniFlex. I do have my good buddy Kemp Cole on the line here today. We're going to kind of go back and forth a little bit. We're going to kind of go over where this product is positioned in the market, a couple of the benefits about the product that's there, and then Kemp's going to take controls over and kind of go over the brochure real quickly, but more importantly, how to go through and quote this on their portal and the e-application. So Manhattan Life, they've done a good job of making it really, really easy on you as an agent to quote the product and to be able to complete the enrollment and modify kind of the benefit amounts and premiums. Because the short-term care does, have a few moving parts to it, but they make it super, super easy for you. A couple of housekeeping things. If I can have somebody in the chat box in their bottom right in the GoToWebinar just say, hey, you can hear us, you can see my screen, I'd greatly appreciate it. That way that we know that it's good to go and that the recording can be sent out to you guys as well. So let me hear real quick. Looks like audio is good. Let's see if we got questions. David, thank you. I appreciate that we're all good. So in the same chat box, if you guys got questions, go ahead and put them in there. I'll try to monitor them and answer them as we go. If we do not answer them during the webinar, I will reach out to you either personally, have one of my marketers reach out to you, or answer it at the end of our best ability for you guys. So with that, I'm going to get things kicked off. Looks like we got a few people that are trickling in. Like I said, my name is Andrew Rodman. Western Marketing. We're based out of Missouri Valley, Iowa, so centrally located in the central time zone. Up on your screen here is a QR code. So if you take your cell phone out, that's going to bring you directly to our website and a contact us page that says, hey, I want to talk about short-term care or long-term care, and you can put a comment in there. Of course, our phone number there is 800-852-7152. You can ask for myself, but you can definitely ask for any health marketer to be able to talk to you about this product that we're going to go over today. So where does short-term care fit in the market? So this looks a little bit blurry for some reason, but it's good nonetheless. Okay. Short-term care fits kind of in the middle of the realm, but we get a lot of people calling into our office asking for a long-term care quote. And we always give them a long-term care quote, but agents and clients alike, when they get that quote and that illustration, usually it's for a 65-year-old or somebody in their 60s, they're absolutely shocked at the sticker price of that product. Long-term care has gotten super expensive. The underwriting has got super strict, meaning that they got to get a full paramedical exam. A lot of times they have to have a nurse or somebody come to the house and do a cognitive assessment. Just really, really strict. It's not like it was 15 years ago where they accepted everybody and the premiums were great and they had lifetime benefits. That being said, the long-term care product is pretty robust. We can go out to, 5-year benefit. Some carriers are a lifetime benefit that's there, and it encompasses nursing home, assisted living, home health care, and then even a cash benefit in most policies as well. So where short-term care fits in here? The product is super affordable when we look at compared to long-term care. Okay. A lot of people, they're price conscious. So we got to look at that. And that's why we look at short-term care. Also underwriting. It's simplified issue. And for what that means for you guys, meaning that it's the application health questions. We're going to do an MIB and a prescription drug check most of the times with most carriers. Okay. But it is simplified issue. So somebody a little bit unhealthy can get this product. Manhattan Life is very unique in that they do have a 2-tiered underwriting system. And I'm not going to steal all of Kemp's thunder here and going over this, but he'll kind of go over that a little bit. And we can get some people that have completely uninsurable conditions with long-term care, and then some of the other short-term care carriers that we can place it with Manhattan Life and nobody else. So it is a little bit of reduced benefit, but know that they do have an underwriting niche there. Okay. Caveat with this is that the short-term care product is less than a year. It's a 360-day benefit in most states, but it can encompass the same as long-term care, nursing home, assisted living, and home health care rider. I always throw home health care in here because Manhattan Life does have a great home health care product as well. It is very, very affordable. Underwriting is just a couple of health questions. but it is nothing to do with the nursing home or assisted living. It is meant for home care and care that's there, outside of the nursing home. They also have a 360-day benefit period with some restorations to it. It's got a great prescription drug benefit. If you got questions on that home health care, definitely reach out to me, Andrew, or anybody on my team here at Western Marketing. Let's see here. State availability, because usually I always ask if it's available in the state. I thought I would take this snapshot. Kemp, does that look like that's the most recent up-to-date one? I thought I pulled it correctly, but I thought maybe we added a state.
We have added Pennsylvania and Virginia, I believe is the other one.
Okay, so we have PA and Virginia in there. So if you have a snapshot of that, take a picture of it, but PA and Virginia is added into that. Give that a little bit of time so people can take a picture of that. And then I'm going to briefly go over a few highlights on this product, and then I'm going to have Kemp go over the brochure here for you. But facility benefits, we got that $50 to $400 a day. Benefit period options, we can go up to 360-day benefit period, like I talked. We do have a 90, 180, and 270, which I do like, because positioning in the market, you have somebody that already has a traditional long-term care policy. They've had it for 10, 15 years. A lot of those policies have a 180-day elimination period or longer, or 90. So yes, they have long-term care. That's great. But we can go in and say, hey, we're going to fulfill that elimination period for you, so you get day one coverage should you go into a nursing facility. Because these, unlike a long-term care policy, the short-term care has an option of a 0-day elimination period. Oh, let me go back. A 0-day elimination period, which is very, very advantageous. These other benefits, I'm going to you can take a screenshot of this if you'd like, or take a picture of it. But I'm going to hand this over to Kemp so he can go over the brochure and go into it a little bit more in depth. And then we're going to go into the e-application. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to switch that to Kemp. You should have a notification to be the presenter, Kemp. And while we're doing that, I'll go through any questions that we've got so far. That one's just saying that we're good to go. I can see your state availability chart there, Kemp.
Okay, good. That's what I was wanting to show that real quick. Pennsylvania is not yet approved, and so I misspoke there, but Virginia is. This is the most current map that we've got for the Omniflex.
Nice. Perfect. No questions, just comments. Yeah, definitely put the questions in here. Should you guys have any further ones that are there. So yeah, I can see the state availability, so they've got that. Perfect. And then I can see your email. All right, we got your website, Kemp, which this is Manhattan's website. This may look familiar to you guys for some other products that you might have. This is the same website for the MedSup as well. And then, Manhattan Life has a lot of other above age 65 and below age 65 products too. So may look familiar to you.
Good. All right. Andrew, you ready for me?
I'm ready for you, buddy. Kick it off. I appreciate your time and coming in and helping us out today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm Kemp Cole. I work with Manhattan Life as a regional vice president, and thrilled to be with Western Marketing. They're a very trusted partner, and we love doing business with them. And I just wanted to show you the website. Everything that we're going to do from this point on, you have access to it if you're contracted with Manhattan. And so everything I'm doing, you can replicate on your own. And so that's the reason I'm going to here. The first thing I thought we'd look at, well, first of all, I'm on a dummy site, so I'm not showing anybody's information. But I want to go to downloads and then product downloads, and then a map of the United States, and it'll bring up, you click on whatever state you want to be in, and it'll bring up every product that's available to sell in that state. So let's say we just take Iowa, for example. So it brings up every product Manhattan has available to sell there. These first 10 products are worksite or group products. And once you get past postal federal DI income, these are all the individual products that are available. And so we will scroll down to the short-term care, that's where we're at right here. And then you've got two different brochures, and I'll click on the full brochure. They've got a shorter trifold brochure. That's what this is. But the big brochure is right here, and I thought we'd open it and kind of walk through the benefits. And then I'll show you how to quote the premiums on it with the rater. So we have the OmniFlex short-term care, and recently I've had a long-term care agency that did a lot of long-term care. They got hooked into this, and they went back through their files for the last 5 years for anybody that applied for long-term care and couldn't get approved or they couldn't afford it. And they've been selling a lot of OmniFlex to those people. So that's just an idea that has popped up I wanted to share with you. Manhattan's been here for over 170 years. The cost of nursing expenses is just skyrocketing. The leading cause for bankruptcy, medical bankruptcy. And anyway, it fills that void, especially for those people who don't think they can get coverage. The base policy covers the prescription drugs, nursing home, assisted living, hospice, bed reservations, and drugs. Those are all in the base plan. And then you can enhance it with these riders, the home health care rider, hospital indemnity rider, and they have a 5% simple inflation rider. And so those are optional. You can take them or not take them. And so that makes it really nice. And then on your base policy, you can choose between $50 to $400 a day. That's for nursing care, assisted living, skilled nursing care, hospice benefits, and that sliders in $10 increments. You can choose an elimination period if you want. And then just about everybody I know is going to do the 360 days. But if they're fighting premium a little bit, the 360 days, you could go to 270 or 180. Something's better than nothing to get them covered. Other benefits on the base policy, you've got the prescription benefit that starts day one, where it reimburses you $10 for generic and $25 for each name brand, up to $300 a year. They don't have to be receiving any services to get that benefit. The Fast 50, this is a differentiator between us and the marketplace. We'll pay for a spouse, family, or friends if you opt for this benefit, for them to get paid to take care of you in the home. So they choose that benefit. If they try that for 90 days or 180 days and it's not working for them, they can go back onto the nursing benefit. Bed reservations, this is a big deal. I didn't realize it until the policy came out, is when you're in the hospital and you know that they're going to take you immediately to the skilled nursing care or assisted living, we will reserve a room for you up to 10 days for them to keep that room open, because the better places, you can't just walk in and say, I want to come in. So that's a nice benefit. And then the restoration of benefits. It just says if you go 180 days without receiving care, then the policy resets itself back to day one for benefits. That's really strong because you can reuse this policy multiple times and have it reset.
Hey, Kemp, let's stay on that page real quick, if we can.
Yeah.
So the prescription drug benefit, I want to talk about that if we scroll up a little bit. Number one, you do not need to be on claim on that. So the person takes the policy out, they got a plan effective date of the first of next month, they go get prescriptions filled. They can actually claim on that right away. And it's $10 and $25, 10 for generic, 25 for brand name. And that's per fill. So if you do the mathematics of that, you have a brand name drug, right? And they're on a monthly fill. That's 25 times 12. That's your $300 right there that they can count on getting back. So it's not taking it off the premium, but you can position it that way. Hey, we're going to reduce your overall annual premium by $300 because you're taking XYZ medications. So just want to make sure that claim filing with that is really simple. You can either do it online through a mobile app. that's there. But easiest way is to go to your pharmacy and say, hey, I need to list of my medications from this date, which is your policy effective date. And then we can submit that into Manhattan Life, and they pay you in about, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, 10 to 12 business days, or the client. So the other thing, the restoration of benefits. So we had a question that came in there, does it restore? Yes, it does. That 180-day period that they've got to be essentially labeled by a physician that they're well or out of there. And in my background, coming prior to the insurance industry 10 years ago, I actually ran home health care agencies and nursing facilities or nursing home rehab centers that's there. So we often see people come into a nursing facility for, 90, maybe 100, 200 days after a stroke or a hip fracture, whatever it might be that's in there. And then they go back home and they go on to home health care, and then they might have to be readmitted. So having that restoration of benefits is key. So that's all I had on that real quick. Kemp, you can go ahead and go to that next slide.
Good. Yeah, those are great points. We also offer an optional simple inflation benefit that starts in the 6th year of the policy. Starting in year 6, it'll increase 5% every year. And then in year 25, it's doubled the benefit, and it'll stay doubled for the life of the policy. So that's a really good benefit. And then the way the company is able to offer the 2-tiered benefits is if you have a $200 base benefit, year 1, it pays $100. And then year 2, it does $120 and increases 20% every year, where after year 5, you've got the full $200 benefit. And this allows us to step out there and take some people that don't think they can get insured, and we're not getting into any adverse selection benefits. So that's really strong, and that's how they can do that. Home health care, it'll pay on that if you take that benefit for them to come in the home to take care of you. And you choose that benefit on a sliding scale. We'll go over that in more detail in a minute. Same thing with the hospital indemnity rider. You can choose from $50 to $300 a day for them to get paid cash per day while they're in the hospital based on how many days they select. The policy is available ages 45 to 89. Simplified issue, you've got a one-time $25 application fee, and it is commissionable. So this is just kind of a recap of what we went through. On the nursing facility, $50 to $400 a day. You choose an elimination period. Your benefit period, 90 to 360. 360 is normally what I see. You've got a lifetime maximum of 2 times however many days that you choose. So if you choose 360 days, your lifetime maximum is 720. That's the lifetime maximum of the policy, and that's where you're using the restoration of benefits. So you might use 90 days here, it restores. You use 200 days here, you go home, you're not being treated. A year later, you go in and again, that's where the lifetime benefit would come in. We've talked about prescriptions, the Fast 50, restoration of benefits, optional benefits. On the hospital indemnity, you choose 3, 6, or 20 days a year at whatever daily room benefit you chose. And with that, we've got about 10 minutes here. I want to go back into the e-application and show you that. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. That's kind of home base is what I call that. This is where you can manage all of your business, commissions. You can check on your policy list, any claims or billing information. You can manage all of your Manhattan business from this place. But we're going to go to access the e-app to get to the rater. So we'll wait for it to open, and then it'll ask us to get started. We want to create a new quote. So hit get started. Enter a zip code, and I'll just enter mine. And then you want to enter some basic information. So it's for male, 62-year-old. The effective date always defaults to the next day, but you can click the calendar and you can do it up to 60 days ahead of time for the effective date. If you have a dependent, you would list their name here. We're just going to hit view products. And it'll pop up for the state of Oklahoma, 62-year-old, all the products that are available to them. Well, so I accidentally hit the Cancer Plus. We didn't want to do that. There's the home health care that Andrew was talking about, Medicare supplement, and there's the Omniflex, what we're talking about today. Are you going to apply for a spousal discount? I'm just going to put no to make it go quicker, but there is a 10% discount if you apply with your spouse. So you can do a full quote, which means I'm taking an application right now, or you can do a quick quote, which I'm going to click on, and you can play around with the premiums and see what you're going to come up with benefits. So your base policy is your nursing home, assisted living, skilled nursing care, hospice, those facilities. So right now it's at $50 a day. Let's say we want to take it to, that's $320. I can make it $300, $310. But anyway, then there's the rate right there, $32 a month. And you think, well, that's really cheap. Well, yeah, it's because I've only got for 90 days. So let's take it to 360 and see what that does to the premium. Now we're at $94 a month. So $94 a month, we've got $310 a day for the nursing facility, 360 days, no elimination period. If you took it to a 60-day elimination, it drops it down to 76. So in other words, you can just keep playing with this until you meet your client's needs with their pocketbook. The home health care rider right here, it tells you what the base policy is going to, $2.03. Let's check that. That $2 is going to buy us $50 a day for 90 days. Let's say we want to make it for $210, make it $200. So there, went from 76 to 84. I want to do it 360 days. Now we're at 102. If I didn't like that and I wanted to remove it, I just hit remove rider. And it takes it back to that original, just for the nursing part of it. So we would do the hospital indemnity. Again, a lot of the MA plans, you have to pay $200 a day or $300 a day while you're there. That's $160. Make it $200. So we went from 76 to 86. Let's do it for 6 days. So in other words, I'm just showing you can be pretty flexible, $86 to $90 a month. And you've got them $200 a day for 6 days a year. Help cover that. Simple inflation, that's at 5%. Let's see, we check it there. Our premium's $90. Check that benefit. 146. So it took it from 90 to 146. If they want that, again, if I decide that's more than what they want, I just check that back and it goes back to $90. Let's take a look at the health questions. You can ask some of the health questions here. First of all, if you use tobacco, you would answer yes. The premiums we were quoted there were non-smoker, non-tobacco users. And so I checked, yes, we use tobacco. It took it from $90 to $99, $100 round numbers. So it really doesn't increase it a lot to do the, if they're a tobacco user, which I find interesting. Let's revisit the health questions. Just in the last 24 months, have you had TIA, congestive heart failure, organ transplant, And I think the key here is 24 months. Always pay attention to that. If it's been 24 months and a day ago, you would answer no. But if you answer yes, you can still get coverage. Same thing here. If you're type 1 diabetic using more than 50 units of insulin a day, if you check yes, you can still get coverage. It's just a limited benefit. Last 24 months, have you had any of these conditions? You check yes, you can still get coverage. Amputations caused by disease, if it's yes, you can still get coverage. COPD, if they're using oxygen, chronic liver disease, let's just check yes here and see what happens. If you check yes to any of these, then you'll be offered the limited benefit for the policy. That limited benefit, so we had originally applied for 300 a day, is now 100. 100 is the max they can get. So if that was the case, I would want to max out every benefit that they could get. So the premium is reflected. It's only $37 a month for that, but I'm going to take it to zero elimination. I want to get the most I can get, and these people don't even think they can get coverage. So $100 a day for 360, no elimination. On the hospital indemnity, 100. I'd probably take that to 20 days. I want to get all I can get. So that takes the premium to 46. We don't have the home health care, so I would want to add it and get the most I could get out of it. Get $100, and then I'll move it to 360. And so it's $60.58 for a 62-year-old that had a stroke last year, and he doesn't think he can get coverage, or they're on oxygen. Anyway, it's really, really clean, really easy to use. Let's say you're at this point and you say, okay, well, I want to get started. Let's enroll. So I've got 2 minutes, so I can't go through the whole thing, but I can show you some highlights here. You can save any of the information that you put in here at any time. If you get to a point that you're out of time or they can't make a decision, just hit save and you can come back to it and you won't have to fill that information out again. You can add another product like a dental and vision or heart or cancer, whatever. You can do multiple products with one application. One point I'll make on all Manhattan products, they will take an I-10 number in lieu of a Social Security. So you would just put the individual tax identification number in where it says Social Security number. Just basic information, hit next. It goes through the health questions. These first 6 questions just say, if you answer yes, you're not eligible. So they're real clean, real black and white. You know if you can get them covered or not. Are they currently receiving help with the activities of daily living, is what that is. Are you currently living in a nursing home or assisted living or rehab? If you answer yes, it just says you're not eligible. You're currently being treated for dementia, Alzheimer's, you're not eligible. So anyway, these first 5 or 6 questions just go through here and just lay it out black and white. Last 24 months, have you been treated for cancer? Well, if it's been 24 months and a day, they can get coverage on that limited benefit. And then are you taking any prescribed medications? And you would list those out there. You'd hit next. You would share their email with them. They don't have to, they can decline. How are they going to pay for it? The beneficiary. And then the signature for the applicant is the mother's maiden name. The client doesn't have to click on anything, respond to anything. You put their mother's maiden name, and that is the signature. So that has made the agent's job a whole lot easier right there. Who to mail the policy to, make sure your agent number is correct. Everything's true and correct to the best of my knowledge. And you can do an agent split with another Manhattan agent. You just list their name and agent number out right there. And then it just gives you, this is what I'm applying for. This is the summary. So this was a person that had, one of those conditions in the last 24 months. So they got the maximum they could get. This is what I want to get. And I would just put validate. And then that's the beauty of the e-app. It won't let you go forward unless you've filled everything out, which I didn't fill anything out. So that's why it's kicking it back. So that is a quick run through of the e-app and the rater on how to make that work. And with that, Andrew, I'll toss it back to you and I'll go back to the dashboard.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm just going to show my screen again here real quick. Can you see my screen where it just got Western Marketing, the QR code, and full view?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
Sounds good. So Kemp, thank you for running through that. We want to try to make this quick and easy, 30-minute presentation here for you, and I think we're about right on the button that's there. Just to recap, once again, you can scan that QR code. That'll bring you to our webpage so you can get in contact. Otherwise, you can call the 800-852-7152. My email address is there. It'll take a little bit for this to download, but everybody that attended today is going to get a recording of this. I'm going to send you product brochures so you can see that, and then that nice little chart that I sent you that you can use to present to your clients that says long-term care, short-term care, and home health care. It's a great presentation tool for you. Kemp, we got a few questions here. If I don't answer your question here, that means I'm going to be giving you a call here probably this afternoon and kind of go over a few things that we have for questions. So one, I got my good friend Cal Reese here out of California, wondering if it's ever going to be presented in California. Have you guys tried to get this approved in California, Kemp?
We are actively trying to get it approved in California. So that is a state we would like to be in. And we do have products there. So we feel like we can. It's just the state of California doesn't move real quick.
Absolutely. Couple of questions regarding when this benefit kicks in and different things like that. I'll kind of take the answer to this one. The benefit triggers for this policy of obviously being in a long-term care facility or the home health care portion of it, but you've got to have the inability, or a physician has to state that you have the inability to complete 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. So that's ADLs, which is bathing, dressing, toileting, transferring, that type of stuff. Okay. Or they could have a severe cognitive impairment diagnosed by a physician. So that's when it kicks in. It's an indemnity product. So when this is going to answer one of the other questions here, regardless of any other coverage that you have, whether it's major medical, traditional long-term care, Medicare, supplement, Advantage, whatever it might be, this policy pays directly to the policyholder. Kemp, correct me if I'm wrong, but can you assign benefits to the facility if need be, or are you guys only paying directly? Yeah. So we can assign benefits.
I'd like to make a quick point there is, what if you have a $400 a day room benefit and you're only charged $300 and you assigned your benefits? Manhattan would pay the facility the $300 a day and they would send a check to the client for the extra $100 a day. So they don't have to wrestle the nursing facility to get their money.
Yep, absolutely. So I guess to go along with that point, I mean, this is a very affordable plan. Here in the Midwest, it's about $8,500 a month for a semi-private or private room. So being $400 a day, that's a $12,000 a month benefit that we can get for just about a year, which, do the math, it brings it about to about a year and a little, I don't know, under a year and a half that's there of total benefit if they pay themselves directly. That's there. So that $400 a day maximum is nice that's that high of a benefit. Let's see here. Medicare, that's questions good. Restoration of benefits, we went over that. Do the restoration of benefits, 180 days without drawing benefits or 180 days of not needing it. So that they have to basically, a physician. Good.
Yeah, 180 days of not needing care.
Perfect. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Client and facility, we answered that question. Height and weight a factor on this one? Does it have a height and weight chart, Kemp?
It does not.
So no height and weight chart, and that does not matter with rates. So we're basically doing age, benefit amount, and tobacco status.
Correct.
Knockout health questions. We went through those. There is an MIB and a prescription drug check, correct, Kemp?
Yeah, exactly.
Sign somebody up in a state and they move to another state. Will this policy follow them?
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll go with them.
Payment types. You have EFT, direct bill on a quarterly, semi-annual, and annual basis, but no credit card, right, Kemp? Or are we accepting credit cards now?
Yeah, no credit card.
Yep. Great question, Benton, that's there regarding a LTC certification. It is not required to have a long-term care certification to sell this product.
Correct.
There we are. Florida. It is not available in Florida. If it is, I think Manhattan Life would probably be flooded with business if they could ever get it approved in Florida. I don't know if there's not a short-term care product available in Florida that I know of, just traditional LTC. But if you want an LTC quote, let me know. I can run that with a couple different carriers and compare that for you. The other thing I want to mention in here, Kemp didn't go over it, but in the e-application and also in the portal, Manhattan Life does a really good job with their agent guide. So their agent guide literally has almost anything and everything that you guys would have for questions on about the product, exclusions, limitations, e-application. It's a great agent guide. Usually a lot of companies, we got to piecemeal that together and stuff like that, but it is a great agent guide. And it's right there for you when you go to quote and do the enrollment. You've got your brochure, you've got application, you've got your agent guide. It's all right there. So when you want to do your presentation to your client, you have everything that you need. So I guess with that, I don't think there's any more questions that I have. I just want to, wait, one more here. One more, and I'm trying to be cognizant of everybody's time. Average approval time for a client, Kemp. What do you think? Somebody that's maybe even has a little bit of health conditions. How long do you think it would take to get somebody approved?
Normally, if you fill the application out correctly and have all their medications down, I'm going to say 2 to 3 days is what I normally see the turnaround.
Yeah, which that's pretty dang amazing, because I mean, when we're talking about a traditional long-term care policy, or maybe even an annuity with long-term care or life insurance with long-term care, you're looking at a month or better, if not more, depending on underwriting and what time the paramedical exam gets done. So we can get somebody some coverage and some peace of mind really, really quickly. So good questions today. If I didn't answer your question, like I said, you can reach out to me, the 800-852-7152. Or I'll reach out to you personally that's here. Contracting is done really, really easily with Manhattan Life. If you want to contract, we'll send you out a link. You fill out the link that takes about 5 minutes to do. I've had writing numbers back in the same day. If not, it's 24, maybe 48 hours that we have in there, as long as the contracting's filled out. So we can get you set up and be able to offer this to your clients really, really quickly. I'm going to leave you once again just with kind of where to position this product. People think about long-term care or alternatives to long-term care, like this short-term care, usually when one of their loved ones has a stay in a facility. They're usually about the age, hopefully about 55 to 60, because it's super affordable. But a lot of times we see older people that are in their mid-70s, maybe even 80s, that are there that want long-term care coverage, and they can see it coming down the pipeline. Traditional long-term care and some of the life insurance policies, we can't sell it because it's not that high of an age band. So to reiterate, with this product, we can go clear up to age 89 on a simplified issue basis. They're going to have some health concerns. And with that 2-tiered underwriting, you have the ability to offer somebody some form of coverage, which is better than nothing. Where to prospect? Like I said, a lot of our people that are on this are Medicare agents. You need to start making this a part of your presentation with Medicare Supplement or Advantage. Most seniors are in there, they're thinking they're getting Medicare. It's great coverage. They think they have long-term care coverage. when in fact they only have the 100 skilled days per period of care. Well, it's got to be skilled in nature. They have to have that 3-day qualifying stay with most plans, not all that are there, but it's only 100 days. And once they get off of that skilled care and they go into a regular nursing facility, your supplement and Advantage plans do not cover it. And it's very important that you educate your clients on that. Yes, it's cross-selling kind of, but I call it cross-educating instead of cross-selling. Because when you cross-educate your clients, they see that that is a gap or hole in their coverage, and at least you're educating them on the opportunity to fill that gap in coverage. And it's a very large gap. I mean, we're talking, $8,500 a month, or, maybe even higher in some other areas. So make it part of your Medicare presentation. Look at if you got a long-term care block of business, go back to that long-term care block of business, like Kemp said, and we got a lot of agencies that do this too. People that couldn't pass underwriting, we can go back to them and say, hey, we got something that we can potentially get for you. Okay. Go back through your existing long-term care block of business and look at what their elimination period is. I can't believe how many policies that some of our agents sell that is a 180-day benefit period. Going back to them and saying, hey, you got a good long-term care policy with, Genworth, John Hancock, Mutual, whoever it is, but you got a big gap. You got a 180-day period there. That's 6 months. We can get you covered for XYZ, probably under $100. That's there to start immediately in your long-term care coverage. So try to prospect that. Don't forget about that prescription drug reimbursement. You get $300 knocked off that total premium too as well, to make that a part of your presentation. Don't make that your whole presentation, because then people think that we're messing with their prescription drug coverage, but make it at the end. Be like, hey, we're going to make this a little bit sweeter. Your premium was, $100 on a monthly basis, $1,200 an annual, but because you're taking these couple of medications, it dropped down to $900 on an annual basis. So don't forget that part. Other than that, Kemp, what else we got to kind of fuel these agents so that they can go and cross-educate their clients?
I think we covered it pretty good here today in the short amount of time we had. And but I'm always available. You're available. If we want to dig a little deeper on it, I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kemp, I always appreciate you. We've had a good long relationship together, and I'll leave you guys with this. You guys are out in the field day to day, supporting your community, supporting your clients, educating on them on their opportunities to fill their gaps and holes in coverage to make sure they're protected. We're here to service you. Western Marketing, that's what we're here to do, is to make your life as easy as we possibly can, offer you the technology, the tools, and the products that are there so that you guys are successful. I would say, Kemp, you're top notch. Whenever I need something, if it's after hours, whatever it is, I can flip him a text, call his phone number, whatever, he answers, and he takes care of us. So got a good company rep that that's standing behind us. So if we run into questions, run into issues, we've got somebody that has our back, and I think that's super important. So Kemp, appreciate all that you do for Western Marketing and our agents. Everybody that's on this webinar now or is going to see this in the future, I appreciate your time watching it. I hope you reach out to us and be able to get a little more information on short-term care and how you can add it into your portfolio or enhance it. So Kemp, thanks for your time. Thank you everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks.